What's up? Oh Lord, as I'm about to start. Let me see if I need to go. No? They're okay? Yeah? Alright, we're gonna start. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. If you had it back there and you're looking for a smile, bringing hope and joy for a day that was wild. Stuff from the cuffs is here to make things bright. In a world so dark, they're bringing some light. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. Go Bria, go Bill, go Bess, go Brian. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Stuff from the Cuffs, where we give you fire, we give you fun, we're inspirational, we're real, and we're educational. I'm Basilia. Welcome back to the channel. So very happy to have you today. Thank you so very much for clicking on this video, for liking, for commenting, and of course for sharing. And to all our tenants in the building, a very good day to you. Thank you so very much for making it another episode of Stuff from the Cuffs. We're so happy to have you. To all our new subscribers, welcome to the Cufflinks family. We're still on the road to 10K, guys. We're still on the road to 10K by May. So make sure that if you're watching this video that you hit that subscribe button if you're not yet a subscriber. And of course, come be a part of the F.I.R.E Cufflinks family. So guys, before I get into the video, as you know what we're going to talk about from the title, I just want to take this time out to point out that this video, this one right here, this one that you're watching at this point in time, marks the 100th video that we have released on this channel. So since last May, since we started this channel, and over the past almost 8 months and a little bit, we have released 100 videos. This is the 100th video. Thank you guys for being a part of this journey. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for encouraging us. Thank you for making this journey worthwhile. We're so very happy that we are able to touch lives in a manner like this and on this platform. And we're so grateful to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. On behalf of me and my family, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Thank you. So we're heading for 10K by May. We are more than halfway there. And how can you help? So our Cufflinks family is 6,000 and something, right? 6,100 and something. If each of you tell somebody about Stuff from the Cuffs, if each of you share your favorite video on your platforms, your social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whichever you choose, then somebody else will know about Stuff from the Cuffs. If each of you tell somebody, say, hey, go on over, watch their videos and subscribe, we'll get to 10K in no time. So we look forward to that celebration, all right? So today we are talking about motherhood. And being a mother is hard. So I have on my glasses today, so you're seeing a different look because I'll be reading some stuff and I want to be able to read it properly without squinting, because yes, I wear glasses. Being a mother is hard. And the reality is, no matter how many books you read, no matter how many videos you watch, no matter how somebody tell you about being a mother and how hard it is before, you never really understand until you actually become a mother. And I just want to take the time out, first of all, right here at this juncture, to just acknowledge those who may be watching, who may want children and you're not yet a mother, who are having difficulties conceiving, who may have lost a child. We hold your hand right now. I know there are a lot of persons who, are desirous of having children but are not yet able to. We just pray and ask God to just comfort you during this time and to just grant you the desire of your heart. We are here with you. All right. So guys, for those of you who are new to the channel, my husband Brian, my good husband, we have 2 girls. One is 2 years old and the other is about to be 5 in April. And it has been a tough road for more than one reasons, but I think the main reason was my expectation of motherhood versus what it really is. And I have a group of mothers who sent me some questions and they asked my input. So they want my input on the questions that they asked. And so in talking about being a mother, I am going to seek to answer some of those questions from my perspective. All right. So first of all, motherhood is absolutely beautiful. Motherhood has always been a dream of mine. Motherhood is beautifully chaotic because you never know how much a child coming in your life changes your life until they actually get here. But amidst it all, I am so grateful. So what makes motherhood so taxing and so difficult? Well, for one, physically, it's tiring. And for all my new moms, I just want to encourage you to just keep pushing. Things get more manageable with time. In my first few weeks, I thought my body was going to give way. I thought I would not make it. I thought I would not make it through breastfeeding, especially. Oh my God, that so far has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Breastfeeding. The waking up every 2 hours, the knowing that this child is dependent on you for every single thing. And yes, we want to big up those fathers who are there with the mothers. But I think for the mothers, for us especially, there is a little bit extra that we have to do because we are the nurturers, right? We are the ones who feed. We are the ones sometimes who can be the only ones who soothe the children. And so it becomes a lot sometimes. And I want to touch on the emotional and mental aspect of it all. So we all know the physical part of it because I'm sure you've heard stories of how taxing motherhood is in terms of you being tired, you cleaning all the time, you feeling like the work is never ending. But I don't know how many of us really talk about the emotional and mental aspect of things. So emotionally, sometimes at the end of the day, I wonder if I did enough for my children for that 24-hour period. I wonder if I was patient enough. I have regrets about how some things played out. Like I said, I could have done that a little bit differently. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I could have said that a little softer. Some days I cry. Honestly, at the end of the day, I cry because I wonder if I could have done something just a little bit different to ensure that my child remains in a good place, mentally, physically, emotionally, and all of that. Sometimes I am a little hard on myself because I wonder constantly, and this is a little bit of emotional and mental. I wonder constantly if I'm doing things right. I wonder constantly if the way how I am raising the girls, with hubby, of course, I wonder if this is how we're supposed to do it. I mean, there is no handbook on motherhood. There is no one way to do things. But still, I wonder, and you can hear Bella in the background, she and her sister playing. Still, I wonder if there is something else I need to do to ensure that I grow my child right? On the mental aspect of things, now that the children are growing up and they are becoming, well, especially for Bria is becoming much more picky as it relates to what she wants to eat. And Bella, maybe because I breastfed her for so long, she doesn't really want food that much. I constantly worry about their nutrition. I'm always researching, always trying to find new things to make food more exciting. But guys, I am constantly worried about their nutrition. It's something I think about 24 hours a day. When I have to go out and leave them, even though I know that they're in good hands with hubby, my mind is just consumed with just wondering if they're okay and wondering if, they're feeling all right without me being there. I don't know how to explain it, but even when you know that they're in good hands, there is still this constant concern about them. There has never been a moment since I started having children. There's never been a moment that the kids have not been on my mind. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, where I am. There's never been that moment. And then there is this mom guilt. And this mom guilt that I'm referring to, it speaks to every time we as mothers, we have to do something for ourselves. We have to buy something for ourselves. We have to maybe leave the children for a few hours. We feel guilty. Like, I'm not supposed to be having fun. I don't think I should leave them. I know I'm just going to go and wash my hair and come back, but I feel like maybe they need that hour or extra hour and a half. And it's something that I've had to battle with over the past almost 5 years with both of them. It's just sometimes understanding that mommies need a little time off too. Mommies need a little time to rest and recuperate and refresh ourselves. But it's something that I've never felt 100% comfortable doing. If I have to buy something, I will buy it for them in a jiffy. But if it's something that I need, I'm like, okay, but maybe they are going to need diapers. Maybe, this money can be used to do something else. I don't know. I don't think I should spend this money on myself. That mom guilt eats away at me a lot. A lot. Because I just, somewhere in the back of my head, I kind of feel like I'm not to leave them any at all. Even when I am tired and burnt out, even when I have to go and work and have to go and make the money, I feel guilty about doing it. But it's something that I continue to deal with. It's something that I continue. I'm feeling a lot better these days because, to be honest, I think I've come to the place where I realize that if I'm not my best self, then I cannot be my best for them. So even if it means I'm just going to take an hour off, go sit with one of my girlfriends, because we have this group called Dance Moms, or all our girls are in a dance group, and sometimes we just link up and just sit down and just talk, and it feels so good to just talk without the children there. But at first, it's not something that I could do freely. I always felt guilty about doing anything for myself that did not include the children. And mommies, I just want to remind you that it's okay. It's okay to take a little time off. It's okay to get a breather. It's okay to have somebody watch the children for you. If it is that you need to do something else, it's okay. But I also understand that it's a part of our reality. And mommies, if you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments, please, so I know that I'm not alone. But I know that I'm not alone because I've heard it from so many other mothers in relation to just this never-ending guilt that you feel when you have to be away from your children. And yeah, I think it's important that we talk about these things so that we don't feel like we are alone. All right. So I am going to go into some of the questions that were sent to me by a group of moms, and I'm going to see how many of them I can get through before we wrap this episode up. Because, I think if we talk more about some of the struggles that we face in parenthood overall, then we won't feel so bad about ourselves like, hey, not doing this right. I don't think I'm doing this parent thing right. If we talk about it, I think it will be a little bit better. All right, so one of the questions, what are some ways of de-stressing without feeling like I'm putting too much burden on family members who help with the baby? You know, one thing I've come to realize is that especially other persons who are parents, you know, like our parents and family members, even those who are not parents, I think they understand the importance of us just getting a little time off. Because if you realize, and maybe you're a mommy and you're going through this, you're probably going, and you realize that you're a little bit more miserable, you're a little bit more irritated, you're a little bit more impatient. Maybe that's an indicator to just take a little time off. Get a breather. Drive us somewhere and just go and eat some ice cream, something. I have had to just come to that realization. And so it helps me with not feeling bad that like I'm burdening anybody or stressing out anybody. And those who, you know, keep my children pre-COVID, because, you know, we're kind of just all together now, they have been persons who I trusted wholeheartedly. And so I have dealt with trying my best to not feel bad or not feel like I'm burdening anyone, because they do it willingly and they do it from a good place. And so if you know that those persons can be trusted and you know that you really just need some time off, just do it. Like Nike, just do it. All right. Next, how do you balance your job, house duties, and maintain the high energy with your spouse? You know, we've spoken about this in so many of our previous videos, and I'll try to suggest some of them throughout this video. I don't know if there is any true balance as it relates to doing everything. I think we have, and by we, I mean me and my husband, me and Brian, I think we've just come to that place where we do our best to get everything in a 24-hour period. It doesn't always work. And especially when it comes to intimacy and spending time with or significant others, that may be the hardest part. But I encourage you to just do your best. And I'm going to suggest a few videos that you can watch where we spoke about that at length, all right? In detail and at length. What advice would you give to a young mother whose child takes a longer time to creep or walk than the expected time and stage? One of the things that I've learned with having 2 children is that no 2 children are the same. So your child is unique. And I think we need to stop pressuring ourselves and pressuring even our children into believing that because Sue, daughter, or Mr. Joe's son did this particular thing at this particular time, that my child needs to do it too. Some persons, some children, they develop a little later than others. Some children, they do things on their own time. Some children, they are just working at a different pace than another. And so I don't want us to ever compare our children to others, because that can be a slippery slope. That can be a slippery slope starting from their young, going right through their childhood, right up until they're adults, with us comparing. My advice to you is to just understand that your child is unique. Do what you need to do to help in the process. But at the end of the day, your child will get to those milestones when they are to. Your child will get to those milestones when they are ready. As simple as that. You know, with Bria and Bella is a whole book, right, on her own. Bria started doing a lot of things early, right? And when Bella got to some significant ages, you know, like 12 months, 18 months, 16 months, I started at first expecting certain things because Bria did those things at those times. But I quickly realized that, hello, Bella is on her own time and she's gonna do things at her own pace. And I need not compare her with Bria and expect of her what I had experienced before, right? So In a nutshell, don't compare your child to anybody else. Know that your child is unique and they'll hit those milestones. You just continue working with them. Here, Bella. You just continue working with them and doing your part, and they'll get there. All right? They'll get there. How do you discipline an almost 2-year-old that is bent on doing everything that you say not to do? And this comes with experience. Guys, this comes with experience. I know that even though sometimes when they act prime and they understand things and, you think that they should be doing better and they should be listening, it's a process. It's a process, and I encourage you to be as patient as you can. Right? Yes, be firm. Yes, know that you need to teach them right from wrong, but also be patient. And why do I say be patient? And I'm really learning this lesson of patience through Bella. Because children are children, and they're going to do what children do. They're going to test your patience. They're going to test your faith. They are going to push those boundaries to see how you react. Constantly remind and reinforce right from wrong, what they are to do and what not to do. But it's a process and it takes time. Remember, that children, they're born as a clean slate. And so they are just doing, right? They are just doing. We are here to guide them. But also keep in mind, especially for those of us who have children who are quote unquote prime, as we say here in Jamaica, or mature for their age, keep in mind that at the end of the day, they're still children. And I know it's easier said than done when, you say, be patient, but be as patient as you can while reinforcing the good. All right? Be as patient as you can. How do you deal with the anxiety of never being sure you're a good or great mother to your child? And this is something that I have thought about many times, many times. My consolation is that I'm doing my best. My consolation is that I'm doing my best because I put out all my efforts on a daily basis. I do whatever I can to the best of my ability. So at the end of the day, even though I feel like I could have done some things differently, I know I've done my best. And I think sometimes we need not be so hard on ourselves. I think sometimes we need to understand that, hey, this is a journey and we don't get a handbook. We don't automatically have children and know how to do things right away. We just need to learn to motivate ourselves and encourage ourselves and just remind ourselves that we're just doing our best. We're just doing our best. Yes, it's a kind of anxiety that I've dealt with before, but over the years, I've had to just constantly remind myself, because I constantly remind myself that I'm just doing my best. And I can't do anything but my best. So any mommies out there feeling that way, I know the feeling. But I want to tell you that you're doing a good job. And there's no one way to do things. So don't look on how somebody else is doing it. There's no one way to do things. But you are doing your best and you are to be commended. So just keep on doing your best. All right? Keep on doing your best. Somebody asked, am I a bad mom if I let my baby watch her tablets? Let me tell you, if there's one thing I'm grateful for, is technology, and by extension, those tablets. In 2021, especially during this pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, those tablets have been our saving grace. Yes, Bria? Bella, stop doing that. Yes, so back to what I was saying. So when it comes on to tablets and any kind of device, TV, the whole works, it's all about balance. And it's all about ensuring that you monitor what they watch and don't let them spend the entire day on their devices. But I will never be the one to tell a mother, oh, don't let the baby watch your tablet because such and such and such. Because really and truly, sometimes you need a moment. Yeah. And that tablet is that go-to. Sometimes you need to run into a meeting. Sometimes you're at work. And sometimes you can't always be physically present with them, sitting beside them and keeping them occupied. And so I will say, for a mom who may be feeling guilty about her child watching the tablet, there are so many educational things that they can watch that they can learn while they're watching, right? There are so many things that you can give them to occupy their time that will also be a learning moment for them. So balance the thing. Don't have them on it 24 hours a day, but I don't see anything wrong with having your child watch their tablet or devices, right? Things and times change, and there are so many things out there. There are so many resources available online that can, at every point of the day, teach your child something. So it's just for you as parents to do your necessary research and just filter what your child watches and ensure that they are watching something that can help to grow their mind. All right. And the last question that I will be, and I'm wrapping up right now because I don't want this video to be too long. Last question: how do you deal with everybody chiming in on how to raise your child? Now, let me just say that it's good to listen to those who have experiences, those who have trod this road before us. But it's also great, or even more important, to understand that the road that you are traveling is unique to you. It's also very important to understand that, yes, while you will listen to what this person says or what that person says, sometimes you just have to filter it, and sometimes you just have to ignore some of the quote unquote advice, because nobody knows your child like you do. Nobody knows your circumstances. Nobody knows your situation. Nobody knows what you are going through like you. For example, I remember when Bria was just born and we were trying to sleep train her, and a suggestion that we got was for her to cry it out. Now, for those of you who do that, then fine, because that works for you. But for me, I don't believe in the crying it out because it makes me extremely uncomfortable. It makes me anxious. And it's just not something that I practice. But on the other hand, I don't bash anybody who does, because it works for them and they're okay with doing that. And that can be applied to so many other different things as it relates to how we raise our children. Don't let them eat certain things because this is going to happen to them. Don't let them watch the tablet because they're going to grow up dunks. Yes, I've heard that before. Don't let them do this. Do it this way. Do it that way. Filter. Yes, we're all under one big umbrella called parenthood and motherhood and fatherhood, but really and truly, we're all traveling a unique journey. I remember when Bria was born, and because I had an unexpected C-section, even though I had a lot of milk and I was pumping, we had to substitute with formula for some instances where I was just too exhausted to pump or to feed. We substituted with formula. And I remember somebody saying to me, you're not supposed to give them formula because their brain is not going to develop properly, and don't be lazy. And I'm like, excuse you? I'm like, do you know my reality? Do you know what I'm going through? And first of all, I don't know how we came to me telling her that I give her formula. I think she asked if it's just strictly breast milk or formula. And I said, mostly breast milk, but we substitute with formula in some instances. And the lecturing carried on. I felt bad because of how they were carrying on. But then I had to stop and say, I know my reality. And so I'm doing what's best. I'm doing what's best for me. I'm doing what's best for my child. How I see it, a happy baby is a fed baby, right? Breast milk, formula, the whole works. Some women cannot produce breast milk. Some women, their milk doesn't come in, until few weeks or any at all. Sometimes it just doesn't happen for them, right? So you know your reality. And I'll just close by saying, sometimes in this life, we just have to be careful of how we say things to others. And we continue to say this video after video. How how we choose to give advice and how we come across in giving that advice. Sometimes, sometimes our intentions are pure, but we don't say it in an acceptable way. We don't say it in a way that is laced with love. And so let's just be careful. And mothers, let's just stick together, share information, talk about your struggles. If you need help, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody for help. All right, gotta wrap this up now because Bria and Bella are about to tear down the room. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and let me hear from you in the comments about your struggles as a mother. Let's share information. Let's share with each other because we're all in this together. Yes, we're on our separate journeys, but we're all in this together. Thank you again, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, share this video, leave us a comment, and of course, we'll have another video for you soon. Bye. Stuff from the cuffs, stuff from the cuffs. If you had a bad day and you're looking for a smile, bringing hope and joy for a day that was wild. Stuff from the cuffs is here to make things bright. In a world so dark, they're bringing some light. Stuff from the cuffs.